is this the first time in South Africa?
No, the second time. I was in Cape Town the last time, but for a very short amount of time. We were doing the album with Credo using the South African choir.
Okay, so is that how you first worked with the choir?
With a choir, South African. I wanted to use them on those particular songs, which I have never been able to do since then. I do a lot of touring and being on stage, so that's what's so great about these jobs I'm going to be doing.
Well,
here.
you're saying a lot of touring.
Sure.
That's probably an understatement. I mean, you've been all over the world, right?
Yes.
Have you ever
Pretty
performed
much.
in Antarctica?
A few seals. If they can get more than 20 seals for me to sing to, I'll go.
I'm sure there are fans all over the world. Jennifer, okay, now we've got, I just checked on Wiki and it says you're a mezzo soprano. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, now can you just maybe elaborate on your type of voice?
Yes, when they say mezzo soprano, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily an opera singer. It just means your range. So a soprano is somebody who will always sing very high notes. However, a good mezzo soprano can hit the high notes, but you don't use those notes in the basic part of your song.
Okay.
So a lot of times you'll hear songs on the radio where it sounds like whoever's singing is singing really high, but she's not. She's actually a mezzo. It's just a voice that is little small.
Okay. Now, obviously, when I listen to your songs, it seems you've got a very powerful, deep voice.
Yes.
Is it deep, would you say, or you can just reach the deep notes?
It's not really that deep. It's round.
Round. Okay. Now, obviously, you are a very, very attuned and knowledgeable about singing, especially consider that your father was in opera. He was an actual performer. So yes, he was a real singer. Were you ever drawn to the stage in opera?
Not necessarily, especially. It sounds weird, but when you grow up in it and you actually want to, that's when I make the difference between somebody who is probably equally as good, who sings as a hobby, rather than someone who's actually in the thick of things performing. He would do Othello and have all the makeup and the outfits and, all the undergarments.
Yes.
So this takes a certain type of personality, shall we say. And he also would vocal coach, as most very good singers do. So it was an intense household, so I did not prefer to be a musician as a little girl.
When you say intense, is that very strict?
He was strict since I was a girl, but they were very passionate about their art and their voices. And then my brothers were also very serious at a very early age about their music. One is a jazz player, sax player, so he was at 11, 12 already playing, and my other brother already had his guitar. They already picked their instruments. So, and we were not, what people think too is people in the classical world were supposed to be really wealthy, but that was never the case. They always said, oh, Heidi, if she does pop, she'll be the one person who'll make money. So we always lived in very small quarters. So it's like, it was very passionate, let's put it that way.
And a performance for the neighbors.
Well, this was always a problem, and we moved all over the world. Not for me, because I didn't make any noise yet. My brother Bobby with his saxophone, my father had to always go in every city. And it was usually a church in Germany or a place of worship who would let him go and rehearse there at certain hours. Yeah, it was really, now that I think about it, he made a lot of effort for us.
And once you started singing, did you also, by then, you obviously practiced in the shower, all around.
Yeah, but at the point that I came up, I was a pop singer, which of course is equally as demanding. I was lucky enough to do demo tapes and write, and then go in the studio. And you learn also part of being blessed with a great voice, that we don't have much to do with having that. You have to learn how to maintain it, which means not overusing it, which is talking a lot, and then also actually singing too much.
So it's not just about having the talent, it is about exercising your voice
in a proper way. If you can have teachers, you can have people with the most magnificent voices and singers. I'm not going to mention the names, but they've been very honest about vocal surgery. If you have the wrong training or doing the scales improperly, it'll ruin your voice.
Vocal surgery? What is
notes,
that?
they call it.
Okay.
You've heard recently a few people have had that.
Okay, just now you mentioned, you talk to yourself still as Heidi?
Well, you mean when I talk to myself,
Yes.
I don't call myself by name.
Okay.
My daughter just says, "You're talking to yourself again." You mean call yourself?
Okay, you call yourself?
No, I go by both names, and it's very comfortable, especially when you got another name when you were very young. You just
Yeah.
So my family calls me Heidi, or people in close circles, and then other people who I might love just as much call me Jennifer or Jenny or Jen. I'll answer a variant of all of those two names.
Okay, excellent. Because how old were you when you changed the name?
A teenager, late teens.
Late teenagers.
Yeah, I was very angry at it, as most teenagers are.
I
But
would
everything.
imagine.
Yeah, my father explained it to me that it was okay.
But I still don't get it. Heidi is not necessarily an international name.
No, Heidi is actually
Well, no.
fine. The thing is, my birth mother was Italian, so she thought that was very exotic.
Okay.
And then what we didn't understand was that Stern is a very German name, because we were in New York, and it actually means something in German. It means star. It's actually a word for the word star.
Okay.
So of course, when I was born, nobody ever thought that my dad would start singing in Germany, and then the name Heidi Stern would be such a German name. So they thought it was unfortunate because I didn't look German.
Okay.
And we did release 2 singles that they dumped.
I heard.
So they just switched the name, and we used the same pictures and songs, and it worked.
Well, it's a good thing you changed it, because I wouldn't be able to say it's such a rush, you know. I couldn't say it's such a stern. I mean, what does that really mean?
There you have it. So it might have been good to do that. Also, the times you get announced, and now it's rush hour.
That's excellent. Okay, now, would you say you found your niche, pop rock? Is there still place to diversify?
There's always place to diversify.
What fascinates you? Where would you like to? What other kind of styles would you like to touch
I have
upon?
no idea.
So it's just where it's being led. It's something.
It's something you don't describe, and you're lucky enough to have a job that you can do that.
Of course.
And even the hits I sing in a little different way. Don't worry, it's not opera. But it's interesting. Even a song you've sung many times, you can still always change a nuance about it. Even think the guitar player or my voice or the arrangements. So it's never boring.
Okay. Now, would you say it was that kind of unidentified inspiration which led to your favorite? No, not your favorite. Your most famous hit, Power of Love. Could you elaborate on how you came about that idea? Because it touched so many people all over the world.
This is what's fascinating about the song and music. The other songs that were, as they call them, hits, were hits before Power of Love. A lot of them, Madonna's Eye, no, that was after. Ring of Ice, 25 Lovers, all before. When it went to England, and I got to #1 in England, even though it's a very small country, as we know, it just went everywhere. Then everybody was able to hear that song, and that enabled me to sing with it. You know, Elton John said sure, Michael Bolton, Placido Domingo, a lot of other people. So it was wonderful timing. Also, timing's important.
You probably sang it more than 1,000 times. That song,
easy.
right?
Easy.
More than the Stars and Stripes, the song of America. What's it called?
Banner?
Spangled Banner.
That was a toughie. Everybody keeps forgetting their lyrics. Every baseball game we go, come on, you can do it, don't forget it.
So people know the lyrics of Power of Love better than they know Star Spangled Banner.
That would be a compliment. I never thought of it that way.
Okay, now, when you sing that song again for the umpteenth time, do you still feel a connection to it? Do you still feel proud of it, or you just?
Oh, sure. You also, when you go on stage and you sing for people. You know, you don't sing for yourself. I never understood some artists, they say their whole interview is all about themselves. So you know what I mean? I was thinking about myself, and I was in a bad place. You know? We all go there. You know? We don't want to go there when we hear music and sing music.
Exactly.
So I feed off the public, and they off me, and it's wonderful. It's very spiritual in a way. It's connecting. It's music, and a lot of people who love songs of mine or other artists, they may not even speak English. But they enjoy it.
I see it was actually translated into Spanish. That
I sung it in Spanish. Yes.
Oh, okay. Can you speak?
Thank you.
Can you
Si
speak?
tú eres mi hombre. Sí. Una historia de amor. Amor. In Spanish, you can really be a different person.
Nice.
So that's the difference. When I learned how to speak Spanish and sing it in Spanish, I sung a lot. Even Credo that I did with the South African choir, I sung that in Spanish. It worked very well.
And of course, you speak German, English,
Yes.
any other languages.
That's it. The Italian I should have, but I didn't. Yet.
Are you going to be speaking Afrikaans?
I did not study enough.
Oh,
But
you
I'm
just need
sure I'm
one
going to get a
sentence.
few, I'm sure I will get one sentence down.
Yes, perfect. Okay, now back to South Africa. You say this is the second time you've been in South Africa, but have you ever gone to the Kruger National Park?
I need 2 weeks, at least.
And how long have you been here now?
A week now, but we've been, of course, rehearsing, and tonight I'm gonna be with the boys' choir to rehearse. So unfortunately, we haven't had the time yet.
And up the mountain,
I haven't been allowed yet.
you must come back, please.
I'm going to, and I wanted to since I was here the first time, but I had just had my daughter, and I didn't feel comfortable
Oh, no.
traipsing around South Africa when my baby's in New York. But she actually wanted to come. She's in the university now,
Okay.
but she only had 1 week off. So I said, let's make a deal. We'll both come back and spend time, which would be wonderful.
Your daughter, does she have the same singing talent?
If she does, she's keeping a very good secret.
Really?
Which I did too for a while. She's a very happy girl, young lady, and she's doing well in her studies, and I'm sure that she has many talents that we don't know about yet.
Does she go under the surname Rush or Stone? Or?
Actually, her dad and I have not been together for a long time. I let her have his last name. I'm old-fashioned that way, but her middle name is Stern.
Okay.
So she can decide what to take. There was a phase when she was a teenager, well, she's still a teenager, younger, she wanted Rush. And then she went to Stern, and she plays around with it, and so.
It must be quite interesting to be the daughter of somebody, of a superstar.
She has no clue.
Okay.
The other day she had the nerve to call me, but she's now 19, so it's not 14 or 15. This is the future of the world, our students, and we texted and said, no, I'm totally all yours, Ariel, as of this particular hour or this time. And then she called too early, the phone went on, it was right in the middle of a live radio interview, just the other day.
No.
No, it's all right, they were very generous. And then she was so embarrassed, oh, sorry.
Oh man,
So I
no,
kind of
no, no.
kept it away, which is nice.
Yes.
Because I don't know how the other people do it. You know, they've got multiple kids and they're being followed all the time.
It must be terrible.
It must be terrible. I mean, I would be like, I'd go crazy.
And how do you stop from spoiling someone you love? I mean, you
Oh
can.
no, you can. Oh no, a lot of times you don't get spoiled by things necessarily. You get spoiled by having no restrictions.
Okay.
That's it. You just need restrictions.
Okay, now Bob Dylan said the older you get, the more difficult it is to write songs. Do you find that is
That's
true?
interesting. Oh, that's my excuse. No, I have been writing, but he's so prolific. I mean,
He is.
he's such a character. I mean,
Have you met him?
no.
Now, because when would
I'm
you
a
say?
fan of his ever since I was a kid. My father even said, "Oh, that guy's a genius."
Yes. Now, when in your life would you say the songs flew from you? It flowed from you with ease, or is it still easy, or does it take a lot of?
It depends on who. No, if you set your mind to it, that's the thing. It comes within a day or two, and then you always have ideas. And I used to always love to write poetry, so I've got books of lyrics.
excellent.
And so if you get a melody and you keep it, and you write a lot of things, and then most of them are not worthy. I mean, let's be
Yes,
honest. You know, you
yes.
wake up the next morning, you go, "Ugh, what was I doing?" I wouldn't even play that to my dog, which I don't have one. But we all go through that, you know, that self-torture.
Do you wake up in the middle of the night thinking, I just had a dream?
There are times, absolutely, we've done that. And even before, I've heard other artists say this, with all this wonderful technology we have now, you call your house phone and leave a message with a certain thing. I even travel with a very small keyboard, so I can always write something down.
Excellent. Your best moment on stage, can you remember that? What would you say it is? Or is
That's a toughie. I really don't know. I think one of the most scariest was the first tour. Or the second tour in '87 when somebody had the bright idea that I come down from this lift that I think Tina they had used from her tour, but she was a little more experienced. So you come down there in heels and you need so that was scary. There have been a lot of great moments, great memories.
when would you say is the happiest time? Is it in the present, or were there a time which you will always cherish?
I cherish so many things. I just don't think it's healthy to be too nostalgic because then it's weird. And I think you have to always look for the future and stay positive and enjoy each day. I mean, it sounds corny, but it's the truth.
Well-
Otherwise, if we get mad keep getting mad. I have a temper. Mind you,
Italian temper.
I go very temper. But you have to just, I think regret should be just a phase and a couch day and then.
Yeah. Now,
But you
since
could get me depressed if you try.
No, I don't want to. That would be a sin. You're in South Africa. Have you had any of our food?
I have
Biltong?
not. We just got here, and this is what we're going to be doing later on today
You must eat
and
some
tomorrow.
biltong.
I know. There's so many things to do.
Romance. Who set you up with them? I mean, what do you think of them?
I think they're really good. They're a boy band. They are, come on, they're adorable. You know, they're cute. They're worthy. They have good voices. They're very professional. So we did that, and I think that's a very good match.
Excellent.
And then with the boys choir, I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking about it. It's going to be very emotional meeting them today.
A friend of mine said you have the most amazing outfits, and she can't wait to see you in your new outfit on stage. Will
I've
it
got
be?
three. I packed 2 suitcases full, not knowing what my expert person here. He went through them the first night, so I think we're going to do 3
Excellent. Okay.
if we can change quickly enough.
Cool. And then 2 more. One is, do you actually own a ring of ice?
I own many things. A ring of ice.
What does that symbolize? A ring of ice.
Oh, a hard heart.
Oh, okay.
It's an ice. Those were very deep lyrics, by the way.
But you don't have a heart of ice.
No, but a lot of people do. And when you're growing up, you know, you're miserable. So that's what that was. Yeah, wearing a ring of ice. Hard hearts. All the lonely people.
Okay.
When you leave, I know it's very deep. Wearing a ring of ice, dancing in the night, trying to disguise
Okay.
all that lies behind. See?
And why would one want to disguise?
Because they have rings of ice.
Okay.
So they're lying. Very deep.
And then I've got one question which I'm sure nobody's ever asked you. I just tried it. I racked my brain for
I
this
know. What
one
can you
question.
come up? What is it?
It is. Are you ready? It
Yes.
is, how much wood a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
As much as it could.